You're two stops from your desk when the story loads. A beach in Lisbon, turquoise water, someone's bare feet in the sand, a caption underneath, "Best decision I ever made." You know this person. You used to sit two desks from him. For nearly all of human history, 300,000 years of it, you would never have known what became of someone who walked out of your life. He'd just be gone. Instead, you're watching his new life buffer between tunnels in real time while the train jolts under bank. So why does one photo from someone you barely liked working with undo an entire morning? It isn't jealousy, not exactly, and it isn't Instagram, not really. It's a wiring fault installed in you long before smartphones existed, and once you see how it works, you'll understand exactly why your own commute never quite feels like enough. In 1954, a psychologist named Leon Festinger published a theory in the journal Human Relations that still holds up today. He argued that human beings have no internal ruler for how well their life is going, no objective units. So instead, the brain does the next best thing. It looks sideways. It measures you against whoever's nearest. That's the mechanism, not vanity, not weakness. A basic default setting, running constantly, mostly beneath notice. For most of history, that comparison was small, bounded. Your nearest was a street, a village, maybe 40 people you'd actually met. A 2012 study out of Utah Valley University, led by researchers Cho and Edge, found something sharper once that boundary broke. People scrolling social media consistently rated other users' lives as happier and easier than their own, because they were comparing their full, messy internal experience against everyone else's edited highlight reel. Not a fair fight, never was. Here's what's fascinating. This isn't a new complaint dressed up in new technology. In 1913, a cartoonist named Arthur Momond started drawing a comic strip called Keeping Up with the Joneses. A family bankrupting themselves trying to match the lifestyle of neighbors they never actually saw on screen. Just heard about, glimpsed over a fence. And even that was enough to wreck them. But notice the size of it. One family, one street, a finite, exhaustible comparison. You could, in theory, catch up to the Joneses, beat them even, then move on with your life. So what killed that boundary? Media, mostly, each shift widening the pool a little further. Newspapers, television. Then, in 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan, led by Ethan Kross, tracked people's Facebook use against their moment-to-moment mood and found something the earlier studies had only implied. The more people used the platform between two check-ins, the worse they reported feeling by the next one. Not because anything had happened to them, because of what they'd watched happen to everyone else. Your Joneses used to be one family. Now they're 7 billion people, updating constantly, and the feed never runs dry. There is always another beach. And there's a word for this feeling that's older than any of them: envy. It comes from the Latin invidia, from invidere, literally to look upon with ill will. In, against, videre, to see. The Romans built the seeing right into the word. Envy isn't a feeling that happens to you after you look. It's a way of looking that was already broken before the image arrived. Which is the actual cost of this? Not the mood dip on its own, but what it replaces. In 2018, a research team at the University of Pennsylvania, led by Melissa Hunt, ran an experiment limiting participants' social media use to a fixed window each day. The group who cut back reported meaningful drops in loneliness and depression within a few weeks. Not because their real lives changed, but because they stopped feeding the comparison machine so much raw material. So when that photo loads and something drops in your chest, that's not proof his life is better than yours. It's an algorithm 200,000 years old, doing exactly what it was built to do, on data it was never designed to handle. It doesn't know the difference between a village and the whole internet. It just runs the comparison anyway. Knowing that doesn't stop the drop though, does it? You'll be at your desk in 4 minutes. He'll still be on that beach, captioned, filtered, frozen at his best possible angle. Neither fact tells you anything true about either life. You know that. You'll scroll past the next one anyway.